Hi and welcome to another episode of Being Surreal, and in this episode we are going to talk about options. So in my last video I talked about burning desire. If you haven't watched the last video, it was a book club video and you can check the I button or description to watch that video. So in the last video I talked about burning desire. So the author in that book says that if you want to really succeed, you have to have a burning desire, that you should not have any other plan B or safety net or options. You should have only one option and you should put all your effort in that so that you can succeed. And that is what burning desire is about. But a lot of people, including me sometimes, believe that doing this is not really that good and you should have a backup option, that is plan B, so that in case something goes wrong with your original plan, you can change it and jump to another plan. So the both options have some good thing in them and some bad thing in them. So we will first discuss about the good things. When you are focusing on just one goal, then you are taking a complete gamble. You don't know what's going to happen, but you are going all in and thinking that it might work and wishing it might work. But if it doesn't, then things go down. But the benefit of this is that you can focus completely on just one thing. So for example, your goal is to crack IIT mains, like that is your complete option, and you didn't even file for any other competitive exam like BITS or VIT one. So now you just have to focus on one thing, and that thing is your IIT mains. So you don't have any other distraction, so that makes you very focused on that one goal. Okay, and it increases your motivation to do things too. So I'll give you an example for this. So there was this king who went to battle in another country, taking his army using the ships. Okay, and their army was considerably smaller than the opponent team. Like, team is not the right word, but okay, yeah. So it was considerably smaller than the opponent army. Now, to make sure that his army men give all to win that war, the king orders to burn all the ships. And when this is done, he tells his army that the only way you can return back to your home alive is that you have to win this war. And because of this, that king wins the war, because the army didn't have any option to go back. The only thing they could do was to win, and that was their burning desire, and that's how they stayed alive. So this is a good thing of this ideology. Okay, and like if you think about it, the story of Arjun and the fish's eye is similar too. Like his sole focus was on that fish eye. That's how he could do it. He didn't have any other option, like he could shoot at tail or at mouth or anything. He couldn't do that. He could just shoot in the eye, and that made him do that. So the second ideology is somewhat of a safe game. So you are playing very safe in this one. So you have this one main goal that you want to do and you really want to do that, but in case that doesn't happen because of any reason, you have plan B, a safety net that will prevent you from falling. So for example, think like this. Let's say you want to become a writer or a YouTuber. So that is your main goal, but you know that there is a chance that you might not succeed in this. So what you do is you are doing engineering side by side, so that in case your original plan doesn't work, you have a backup option, that is engineering, so that you can survive. So the risk factor in this one is a little less, though you can be distracted by other things because you won't be able to focus on making videos because of the work you have to do in engineering. But still, this gives you a sense of safety. Another thing about options is that these were plan A and plan B, but I'll like really talk about options. Okay, the thing about options is that if you start getting options for something, then if the original thing doesn't work, you will go for options. And though it's nice and it's good, but in certain things it's not. You should not have options, because there are some things which are meant to be done that way. For example, I remember this meme. Okay, there were people pushing a block, okay, and they were pushing it was really hard for them. So one of the guy was very smart and he chiseled out the cube and made it into a sphere, so that he could easily push it. Okay, that's a nice thing. He had option to chisel out a ball out of block, so he did that. That's a like very smart thing to do. But in the later part of the meme, it was that the customer said, I ordered 100 blocks and you delivered 99 blocks and one sphere. So it was like he didn't need to make the sphere out of it, he needed to deliver the block. Though it was hard, but since he had option to like change it, he did, which was not something good for him. So this is the kind of things when you have options. Like think about it. Let's say you live at a place where they don't have Zomato. Okay. Now like Zomato, Swiggy or any kind of food delivery app. Now let's say you are hungry at like any time of the day, since you don't have Zomato. So you are hungry, and especially at night when the market is closed. Now you check your fridge and kitchen. There's not a lot of food. There are fruits, there are cucumbers and other thing. So you can make salad, but you don't have any other thing. Now if you had the option to order from Zomato, you would have easily ordered a pizza or something. Like no kidding, I would. Now since you don't have Zomato, you don't have any other option, you have to do that. And here it's the right thing to do. Why? Because salad is healthier. That's why having an option is not always good. I know what I'm saying is sort of like I'm standing in the two boats, okay, one leg in each of the boat, and I'm just giving like two different opinion at the same time. But instead what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to tell you both of the ideologies, and what I think is good and what I think is bad in each one of them. In the end, it's up to you which way you decide to go and in what things you decide to go which way. But it's just me telling you how different ideologies are, and I would really suggest that in some really serious things, having an option is not good. Like it's never good. You should always just stick to that one thing. Like really. Like for example, I'll give you a very simple one. Okay, I just remembered this. So like we breathe in through nose and like we breathe through nose. Yeah, that's a common fact. But some people, like we have an option to breathe through mouth too, and some people do that, some deliberately or some unconsciously, which in fact is a very unhealthy practice, as your nose filters out the dust and other things. So it's better to breathe through nose, but when you do it from mouth, it's a bad thing. Like it's a disease, I don't remember the name, but usually people call these people who breathe from mouth breathers, and that's how they got the name. Like the name is pretty clear in itself. Also apologies if you are hearing the echo, because I am, so I hope there's a chance that you might be hearing it too. So apologies for that. So that's what I wanted to tell you in this episode, and I'll just like sum up it a little, that it's sometimes good to have options, and it's not like having options is a good thing because it gives you a sense of security. You take much less risks, but not having an options make you do things you should actually do, and because of not having any other option, you just do it and you keep doing it even if you fail, and you don't leave the motivation to continue working on it. With that, I'll end today's episode. Thank you and have a nice day.